Hey everybody, let me ask you a quick question. Do you like top-down shooters? Do you like roguelikes? Do you like massive fog of war so you can't see what's about to come and murder you from behind? Then maybe I can interest you in a little game that's called So today we're going to talk about Disfigure. Now Disfigure is a free game on Steam. You can download it anytime that you want. And the weird thing is, it's actually really good. It was made by Cold Brew Entertainment and it was made in 2023. And for what you get with this game, it's actually pretty ridiculous that they're not charging you anything. The basic premise of the game is like Vampire Survivors or Halls of Torment or those types of roguelike survivors types games. It's all bullet hell. It's wave of monsters coming after you, and then you get a different set of skills you can pick from every time you level up. And you build your character from this little person with no powers and just a basic weapon into this ridiculous just murder machine that can run through anything that the game throws at you. And just like those other games, once you find out the correct combinations to go with whatever weapon you're using at the time, you could pretty much just run roughshod over everything in the game. Now, as of this recording, there's only 2 levels. One of them in the first world is completely done. It also has like stat bars and health bars for the bosses, and it's really fleshed out. The second level is still being worked on, and the third level has not been released yet. But what's in the game right now is pretty well done. I actually really enjoyed the game whenever I first booted it up because the other Survivors games that I played just didn't feel exactly the same. So it's a nice change of pace. The only time you can see enemies is when they come into your line of sight, which initially is a circle. And in any times that it breaches that circle, you can see it and shoot it, but you can also shoot it while it's still in the dark. After that is pretty much what everything else is. You can turn it on auto fire and just let the game continually shoot, or you can control the shooting and attack. But all you do is you go around, you kill enemies, and then you pick up the XP and level up your character. There's another mode that turns your vision into a longer cone, but it also narrows it down so you can't see pretty much anything behind you. So you have to choose which one do you feel is going to benefit you the most. The power-ups range from things that we've seen in other games to some brand new stuff. In this one, most of your weapons that you'll use will be a gun of some kind, even though it does have melee weapons too, but they also have like range attacks to them. And each one can change the way that your gun shoots. Most of the time, you may be going down the road of trying to get multi-shots so you can hit more things at one time. And once you learn how the skills play off each other, it becomes really fun trying to mix and mash and figure out what's best for that weapon at that time. Because each weapon will play not significantly different. Well, if you go from a gun to a melee weapon, of course. But most of the melees and the guns themselves play the same, just with different fire times, bullet sizes, things like that. So you just figure out what works best for that weapon. And right now, there's a solid selection of weapons you can choose from. There's well over 10 weapons, and they still have a few slots open that they're going to add some more. But not everything is available to you right from the get-go. As you play the game and you try to complete your run, you'll pick up extra XP, and then it just gives you points for kills that you get. And you can use those points to unlock the other weapons. You can also use the points to unlock extra perks for whenever you get to certain level caps. You get to choose like an extra ability or like an innate power-up that just sticks with you for the rest of the game. The thing that catches my eye most is the style of the game. It's a very clear black and white type of motif, kind of almost noir. And it's easy to tell where the enemies are, and whenever they shoot projectiles, you can see them because they're a different color on the screen. And then when they play with the light motif, it also makes it very succinct in what's in front of you, what's coming after you, and like what you can and can't deal with. And even in the game, you can expand your radius and the cone shape. So you do have ways to making it not so bad, but for the most part, that's what keeps it also extremely fun, and that you're trying to figure out where everything is, and you're hoping you can react to it by the time it gets into your field of view.
Oh my god!
And as the game goes on, it keeps giving you increasingly more difficult mobs of enemies to deal with, and eventually everything's just running at you, and they just throw everything that you've encountered in that game, and then some extra bosses at the end. So, as per usual with these Survivors games, you can have the option of going into an endless mode, or you could just end your run once you finally defeat the final boss. And the good thing about the bosses is that whenever they do attack, their attacks are very well choreographed, so even though you don't have a ton of time, once you get to the later bosses, they attack much faster, you can still figure out what's the best strategy. And the bosses are pretty much set, so you're going to encounter the same ones each time. So once you play it a few times, you can pretty much figure out a good strategy, or depending on what skills you've picked up along the way, you can maneuver yourself in much better positions, or you could pick up the skills that you wanted to make sure that the boss would be trivial. And the number one best thing about it, it's all free. These guys, or maybe guy, I don't know if it's a whole team or just one person, but they are constantly updating it. So they have it up on the game, and they have a donation incentive at the bottom. So if you want, you can just give them $5. That's all they ask for the donation. And I think it's well worth it. I've sunk quite a few hours into this game, and I thought it was just going to be a fun, free to pick up, play for a little bit, and then toss to the side. But it has become a reoccurring game in my library. So if you're looking for something just a little bit different, go ahead and give this game a try. It's really not bad. And like I said, they're still working on it. They've already promised some more weapons. They're promising extra perks, and they're working on the levels, and they're going to add a third one eventually, and the second one's going to get fixed to where it's just as good and polished as the first one. So I would definitely recommend this just to play around with whenever you have some free time. And with that, that's the end of this video. Thanks so much for sticking around. Please like and subscribe. Leave any comments if you've played the game, or if you have any questions about maybe I didn't cover something, or you want to know like what kind of weapons or whatever that you didn't see in any of the video clips. But with that being said, thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.